is Thursday, April 9th, and once again, I thank you for joining in our weekly PPACA webinars. Just with a simple show of hands, if you could just let me know if you can, 1, see my screen, and 2, hear me, I would appreciate it. There are some hands. Thanks, Alicia. I appreciate that. Okay, so we're going to get started, and for those of you that may be new to this webinar format, if you have a question, you can either raise your hand just like you did a few seconds ago, or you could type in your question in the question box at the bottom of your control panel on the right-hand side, and then we'll answer questions together at the end of the webinar. So without further delay, I want to start right in. Last week there was a question about, we discussed in more detail at the request of one of my agent partners special election periods and qualifying events. And there was a message that another agent partner sent over basically saying about, if you had a serious medical condition and how that can throw you into a special election period. So I did go on to healthcare.gov, and of course it's not quite that simple. There are extenuating circumstances, but if you look, the exceptional circumstances, if you faced a serious medical condition or natural disaster that kept you from enrolling in the marketplace, then you may qualify for a special election period. An example is an unexpected hospitalization or temporary cognitive disability. Boy, don't we all have those occasionally. A natural disaster such as an earthquake, massive flooding, or hurricane. So although, in my opinion, the serious medical condition is listed as a qualifying event, I would just be mindful that, the qualifying event and the way you're presenting it is that the actual medical condition that they faced kept them from enrolling in a timely fashion. So I wanted to, let everyone know about that. The next bullet point is certainly not one that I like talking about, but there was a blast that came out from Brandy Coleman, our commission specialist. Highmark sent us an email, a notification saying that there are retractions for cases that went into effect 1/1 for which the consumer's portion of the premium was not paid. There were some commissions paid on these cases that weren't supposed to be paid, so there are some retractions. Watch your statements. If you do have questions, please just shoot us an email or give us a call. I know with the numerous issues of billing problems going on with all carriers that commissions have been a real mess. I can tell you that we're committed to making sure you get paid because if you're not getting paid, we're not getting paid either. And I would just ask for your patience at this time. I know that that's hard to say when it's your income that's affected. I'm just letting you know that we're committed to you and committed to making sure that you're getting paid. So if you do have questions or problems, or if there's a discrepancy in a case that was retracted that you know for a fact was paid, which I'm sure will happen, please just let us know. Aetna also sent a notification, and we in turn sent that out to you. Both of these blasts will also be included in my newsletter that's coming out today, and there will be a delay in Aetna commissions, again, caused by the billing issues. So not good news. Unfortunately, it seems to be the way of the world these days, unfortunately, for all of us. Again, I mentioned that since we're in the off cycle, we're outside of the open enrollment period, I'm trying to have guest speakers every other week that may give you ideas for opportunities for sales outside of the open enrollment period. I know that Assurance in the state of Pennsylvania and other states have stopped paying compensation on their major medical for 2015, but the short-term product is still a viable product, it's a competitive product, and it's a commissionable product. So Phil Mishler is going to be joining us next week to give about a 5-minute presentation on the short-term products and some of the changes that they're making on the short-term product that I think it's going to make it even more attractive for your consumers and your clients. So watch for that information. If you're interested, you can sign up. If you're interested in everything else that I'm doing next week on my webinar and not so interested in the short term, that's fine too. You're going to get the added bonus. I wanted to move to the next bullet point, which I've reminded everyone about the Pay Who Day on the Hill. The Pennsylvania Association of Health Underwriters annually has a day that all of the members and brokers in the community and in the state go to the state capitol and talk to legislators about some of the issues that are affecting us. I know on the docket is talking about making sure that navigators have a vetting process and background checks for consumer protections. Right now there's a lot of sensitive information flowing through navigators and application assisters, and they don't have to meet the stringent requirements that we as licensed agents and producers have to meet. So PayWho as an organization has really pushed for this issue. It's an important issue. As well as trying to get a test or the temperature of the state-based exchanges and what that really might mean for the state moving forward. So it is an important time, and if you are available to do this, then it's definitely worth your time. You will not be left alone and required to talk to the legislator yourself. You will always be with a team. You don't have to say anything. There will be a team leader, but it is definitely an interesting day, if nothing else, and also certainly useful for our industry. So that is the actual day on the Hill for the state capitol is April 21st. Prior to that, which is the 20th, at Hollywood Casino, they're going to also have a CE session, a 2-hour CE session, and then a Day on the Hill rally. And that starts at 12:30 to 1 is registration. 1 to 3 is the CE course, and it's going to be run by Vince Phillips, talking about federal insurance legislation. 3 to 4 is the mixer and the rally, and it ends at 5:30. So if you're interested in any of these events, then that information and registration will be in my newsletter this week. So go ahead and register. Unfortunately, I will not be at either of these events, but I would if I didn't have to move a whole household to a new house. So unfortunately, timing didn't work out for me. The next bullet point is really just throwing it out there. How can I help you? What is it that you want to learn more about, have questions on, or just anything that you want to talk about regarding PPACA and sales opportunities? Let me know how I can help you. You can either put it in the question box for suggestions, or you can shoot me an email and let me know. But I want these webinars to be useful part of your day and your week, and educational, because I'm telling you, the way the information comes out and the rapidly changing market, it is difficult to stay abreast of all of the changes. So I want to help you. Clearly, I take my job here as a general agency and my support to you as my agent partners very seriously, and I want to certainly offer the service and educational opportunities that you feel you need. So let me know. I want to hear from you. Speaking along those lines, I did schedule a webinar with Steve Jackson from PrimePay. That's going to be on May 14th, which is a Thursday. It's going to be at 2 p.m., so it's not going to conflict with my weekly PPACA webinar. And this one is going to be specific to measurement periods. We ran a measurement period webinar in the past, but as we get closer to 2016, and of course with all of the renewals coming up for the 100-plus groups for this year, I am getting a lot of questions on measurement periods, so that is going to be an hour specifically devoted to measurement periods, and hopefully you can get your questions answered and a firmer understanding, if needed, on the measurement periods themselves. So we're going to open it up for questions. I'll give you guys a couple minutes to type in any questions that you may have. Just a note, the next webinar, again, every Thursday at 9:30, unless otherwise noted. Our next webinar is next Thursday on the 16th at 9:30. So I hope you'll join us then. So the questions now, let's see. Sherry says, does a parent who drops coverage for an adult child create a legitimate SEP for the child? If that parent drops coverage for an adult child voluntarily, then no, you can't cancel minimum essential coverage and create a qualifying event. If that child reaches an age that they are no longer eligible to be on that parent's plan, then that is a qualifying event. Sherry, if you have additional questions or specific information about your client, just shoot me an email or give me a call after the webinar. Jim says, do you think that the special enrollment period will go away? Often I must determine if I could sign up the person on the other end of the line and often give the benefit of the doubt. I don't think that it will. I think that, you know, at least for the next couple of years, this is the way it's going to be. Our business has become very cyclical, not only in the individual portion of the market where, you know, we're subject to open election periods, but, you know, with all the groups renewing, really the majority of them for 12/1, we've really become a fourth quarter sort of business. So I don't think it's going to go away. Of course, anything's possible, but that's not one of the things that I think would go away. And I don't know that it should go away. If we don't have qualifying events and special election periods because of qualifying events after having an open election period, then what would happen to the market would really be chaos, because if anyone can come in and out of coverage at will, even if they're subject to the tax penalty, then adverse selection occurs, and you're going to find people knowing that they have surgery or an illness that they need to get coverage for, sign up, and then once that treatment is done and they're healthy, knock on wood, they would you know, terminate their plan. So we don't really want that, because that would definitely mess with the loss ratios and just drive costs up for everybody. So no, I don't think they'll go away. And Jay says a nice little note that it's appreciated what I do. It's easier to have to review all the changes and updates at one place. Well, thanks, Jay. I appreciate it. You know, certainly I learn a lot from these things as well, from your questions, so it's certainly beneficial to me as well. You know, like I've said many, many times through the last couple of years, we sink or swim together, folks. So, you know, if I have some knowledge that will help you, I'll pass that on, and, you know, I rely on you to ask those questions to help me learn as well, to be better for you, my agent partners. So that looks like it. Those are the questions that I have today. Doesn't seem like any more are coming in. I once again thank you so much for your participation in these weekly webinars. If you have any questions, if you're new to URL and have any questions about our organization, please give me a call. You can reach me at 800-926-8875. I'm at extension 113. Of course, my email is debw@urlinsgroup.com. So with that, I'll close out this session, and thank you again for your participation. I wish you all a very happy remainder of the week and a terrific weekend. Bye-bye.